Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel for another pregnancy update. This week's pregnancy update is going to be my 12-week pregnancy update. So I'll be going over all the symptoms and everything that has happened over the past week from 11 to 12 weeks because I am 12 weeks pregnant today, which is a Saturday, which if some of you guys have been keeping up with my videos, like my pregnancy updates, I post my pregnancy updates on Mondays. However, my weeks do turn over on Saturdays, which is when I film these. So today I am 12 weeks pregnant. And let's just go ahead and jump right into everything because I feel like I have a lot of stuff to cover in this update. So first things first, this week I weighed in at 125 pounds, which is technically a 0.4 weight gain from last week, but it's still not an actual weight gain because I started out my pregnancy a little above 125, but that is where I'm at week 12. So let me go ahead and show you guys what the baby looks like. So this is what the baby looks like this week. And again, I have it on like the actual size. So this is the actual size of the baby. You can see in comparison to my hand. And I have pretty small hands. So that is what the baby looks like this week, which is really cool. It looks like an actual human and not like a little alien shrimp thing anymore. It also says that the baby is the size of a kiwi or a plum, just depending on which app I'm using. But on the Pregnancy Plus app, you can actually like change like what thing you're referring to the size in. So for instance, you can compare the baby size to like a fruit or an animal or whatever. So I actually liked that I could also compare it to the size of a cupcake this week, which is super, super cute. So I love that. I think that's so adorable how the baby's the size of a cupcake this week. And then I also use my Bump app. I'm not going to pull that up right now, but I'll just show you guys the quick stats that they send me to my email. And it says that most of baby's critical symptoms are fully formed. Baby's about to enter the growth and maturation stage in which organs and tissues will grow and develop rapidly, and baby is now developing reflexes. If you poke his or her body, you'll likely see movement, which I can't really do right now because the baby is still too small. Like I know once you get bigger, you can kind of poke your belly and the baby will like kick back sometimes, but we're not there yet. So anyways, on to how I have been feeling this past week. And I've been feeling like I have a lot of symptoms written down. These are like all the symptoms from this last week, which is quite a few. So the first thing that I put down is that I have noticed more like peach fuzz and hair on my face and on my belly. And this is a symptom that I had when I was pregnant with my daughter. I would get more like peach fuzz right on the sides of my face. And before I found out about the shaving, the face shaver thing, which I have a video of me shaving my face. I filmed it like a few months ago. It's actually very funny, but they work. And before I knew about these, back 2 years ago when I was pregnant with my daughter, I would just take like bathroom scissors, like facial scissors. I don't really know what they're called, but Johnny has a pair of scissors that he uses to like trim his beard, and I would just use those and like kind of like trim the hair on my face. This sounds like I had a beard, but I didn't have a beard. It was just like more noticeable peach fuzz. So I've noticed that that is happening this time around as well. So I have just been making sure that I'm touching up with my little face shaver. And the same thing happens on my belly. I don't get the linea negra, I think that's how you say it. It's like the dark line that goes down your belly when you're pregnant. I didn't have that with my daughter, and I think it's still kind of early to see if I'm gonna have it with this baby. But instead of that, I get like a line of peach fuzz down my stomach, which is super weird, and it goes away after I'm done being pregnant, but I've noticed that that is starting to form this week. I have also still been experiencing back pain, which if you guys follow me on Instagram, I had like a whole rant about this. I mean, it wasn't just about this, but I talked about how my back was still killing me in my Instagram stories, and it just feels like a pinching, like tight feeling in my lower back, like right where you would like mainly bend, like if you were to bend down and pick something off the ground, like right at that spot where you would normally bend down is where it just feels so like tight and sensitive, and it's so painful, and it's so hard for me to like pick Anastasia up and get her in and out of her crib. It's just really a struggle. So I was talking about that on my Instagram stories, and one of my friends actually DM'd me, and I think she said she works as an assistant at a chiropractor's office. I think that's what she said. I could be wrong, but she works in some kind of medical field where she has the authority to kind of give me advice on this kind of stuff. And she was saying to have Johnny like have me lay flat on the bed and have Johnny see which leg is shorter, like appears to be shorter, and have him like just gently pull on that. And it was actually really funny. I posted this on my Instagram stories and I was like dying laughing at the video that I posted. And if I can find a way to like save the video and put it here, I'll insert it here. I need you to pull my leg.
You mean what?
Pull my leg.
Pull it?
I need you to stand at the end of the bed right there.
Okay.
And pull my leg. Can you move this cat?
Oh. Big loaf of bread.
Which leg is shorter? No, not.
Oh, I gotta see. I have.
Hold on. No. Stop.
I'm confused.
Tell me which leg is shorter. Just looking.
This one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, just pull that one gently. Yep, just like that. Both hands. Just pull it like you're trying to make it longer. I feel like you're gonna break my hip. Be careful. Ow. It was just really funny, and I don't think he did it right the first time, but then he tried again, and it actually did help relieve some of that back pain. And it didn't fix it. Like, I still have the back pain today, but last night I was definitely a little more comfortable falling asleep, and I wasn't as like tense and tight and just in pain. This week I also noticed that, thank goodness, I am starting to get just a little bit less nauseous this week. And I'm also gaining more of an appetite. Like, I still have pangs of nausea every now and then, and usually it's the worst like right when I wake up or before I go to bed at night, but I've noticed that it's starting to taper off a bit, which has been amazing. Like, I just feel more of myself, and I feel like I actually have more of an appetite now. Like, I want to eat food instead of just feeling like I need to or I have to eat food. It's nice to actually be like hungry and wanting food. Something that I also noticed this past week, which is actually kind of funny, because I think it was the Bump app, right when I turned 12 weeks today, it gave me like a little like rundown of what to expect this week and what my body is gonna do most likely and things like that. And it said that this week you will most likely have more discharge because it is protecting your vagina from infection, and in protecting your vagina, it's essentially protecting the baby from infection and all of that kind of thing. And that was actually something that I put down as one of my symptoms, was that I had more discharge this past week. And so it seems like my body is right on track with what it should be doing to help keep myself and the baby safe. So I don't know if you can really tell, but I feel like this past week my hair has been a little bit healthier and a little bit shinier compared to like my postpartum hair. Like when I was like 3 or 4 months postpartum, I looked like the Cynthia doll from Rugrats, like just patches of hair gone and just like sticking out in weird places. And I still have like little like baby hairs right here. However, I feel like my hair is starting to get more of like that pregnancy hair. And I had this kind of hair when I was pregnant with Anastasia, especially at the end. Like, I just felt like I had like Victoria's Secret model hair, and it was so nice. So I feel like my hair is starting to look a little more like lively, which is kind of a nice symptom to be experiencing. I also noticed that this week I was a little bit more sensitive and moodier, like not really in a crying way. Like, I'm not really one to really cry about much, except like I cry over things that are like books and movies and songs, but I don't cry over like if something bad happens or if I have a bad day or anything like that. Like, it has to be a really bad day. I'm not just someone that just like cries at the drop of a hat. So I wasn't moody in that sense where I was crying, but I was just getting like overwhelmed and frustrated and just feeling like I just need a break. Like, I just need 5 minutes where no one's asking me for something. I don't have to take out the trash. The cat's not meowing at me to be fed. I don't have to wipe someone's butt. I don't have to make someone a meal. Like, I just felt overwhelmed and just frustrated. And I'm very grateful for the life that I have, but there have been a lot of days, especially when you're in the early stages of pregnancy and you have a toddler. It's tough to stay on top of everything when you aren't feeling so great. I just felt very like overwhelmed and frustrated more than I normally do this week. Another thing that I noticed was that I again have headaches, and I actually had one of the worst headaches last night. I told Johnny that I felt like I was like having a hangover headache, It felt horrible. Oh my gosh, my head was literally pounding. I felt like someone had smacked me in my forehead with like a sledgehammer. It hurt so bad, and it came out of nowhere. I don't know why. I had been running around with Anastasia. Like, I took her to an indoor play place, and then we stopped by a bakery to visit my sister because that's where she works. And then we went to Home Goods, and we stopped by Publix really quick to pick up just a couple things before we went home. And that was like 3 or 4 hours. That was our afternoon. And I don't know if it was because like it was hot outside or if I was like doing too much, which I don't feel like that was doing too much. I was just kind of like going about my day normally, but afterwards I had a headache for like 2 hours, and it was the worst. Okay, so this next symptom, I'm gonna warn you right now, this is probably extremely TMI. I don't know if, like, I'm trying to gauge how much I can gross you guys out before I scare people off, but I want to be honest, and I'm sure there's at least one other woman out there who has experienced this and is like, oh my gosh, thank you for talking about this. I thought I was the only one. So that's why I'm going to share this and just put my pride aside. But I feel like this week, I don't know why, I don't know what the cause is, but it literally feels like somebody kicked me between my legs. One half of my crotch feels like sore and numb, and I don't know why. I feel like if I was like 35 weeks pregnant, there would be a reason, because there's a giant baby like putting all this pressure down in that area, or like baby kicks or whatever, but my pubic bone is like really sore. I don't know, like I don't have like an ingrown hair. It's not anything like that. It's like solely internal, and it's not internal to where like I have an infection or anything like that. It just feels like a bruise. And sometimes it almost feels like it, like when your foot's asleep, like it feels like that. And it's the strangest thing. Like, I have never experienced a symptom like this ever. Not when I was pregnant with Anastasia, not for any other reason besides I could imagine getting kicked in the crotch. But it's not like painful, but it just feels like a recovering bruise almost, and it's not going away, like it's just kind of lingering. So I'm not sure what that's all about. I went on Dr. Google, and apparently there's a lot of other women that have experienced that as well, so I'm not like, you know, raising any red flags or anything like that, but I just thought that was super, super weird. And please let me know down in the comments below if you've ever experienced this, so I don't feel like I am going crazy. And then the last thing I want to talk about is something that is a little bit more of a sensitive subject, but it is something that I have experienced over this past week. I've been experiencing it from like the beginning of this pregnancy, and I experienced it with my pregnancy with my daughter, but I just feel it more this time around, and that is having a lot of anxiety about having a miscarriage, because I had a miscarriage a few months ago, and even though it was extremely early on, like it's still like, in my mind, that was supposed to be a baby, that we were supposed to have a baby at the end of December this year. And you know, I got excited for those few hours that I was pregnant, and then, you know, we lost the baby, unfortunately. But I've just been so nervous and worried about it, because I keep seeing all these, I don't know why, I keep seeing all these stories of these women around like 11, 12, 13 weeks where they're like, oh, everything was fine with my pregnancy, and then I just went to an appointment and the baby's heartbeat wasn't there anymore. And it makes my heart drop, because I'm like, okay, I'm experiencing pregnancy symptoms, and I'm not bleeding, I'm not like having any intense cramping or like anything that would be indicative of having a miscarriage. But sometimes those women are like, I didn't have any signs of a miscarriage either, and then it just happened, and that scares me. And I know that like anything can happen. I'm worried about it, and I'm trying not to worry about it. I do have a fetal Doppler that I used when I was pregnant before, and I actually used it the other night, and I found the heartbeat, and it was kind of like all over the place, because I feel like it's kind of hard in the very beginning to find the baby's heartbeat, because you can also hear like the swooshing of the placenta, and the baby's also still really small, so sometimes it can be hard to like catch it like and stay there, because I would hear it and then it would drift off, and then I would hear it for like maybe 30 seconds, and then it would like be kind of hard to find. And on top of that, like the baby's still really low in my pelvis, so putting the Doppler like little wand on my, like on or around my C-section scar is extremely uncomfortable. There's that. That's why I'm not like doing it every single day, but I did use it this week and I was able to find the heartbeat. It was really reassuring, but it is something that's always kind of in the back of my mind, and I know that most likely everything is fine and will be fine, but it's just, you know, there is always that chance, and it's scary. And I feel like pregnancy as a whole is scary. Like, you don't even feel safe until the baby's actually born. And then when the baby's born, like sometimes they have to go to like the NICU, or something might not be right in the moment, or, you know, whatever. And then you have the rest of your life to worry about them, like not hurting themselves and making right choices and all of that business. But I feel like that a lot of women can relate to how I'm feeling, and hopefully that helps you guys feel like you're not crazy, or you're not just like over exaggerating things in your head or anything like that. I feel like it's a very normal feeling to have, but I'm trying not to let it like rule my thoughts, and just let myself like relax and enjoy this pregnancy and just keep myself as healthy as possible. So that is going to wrap up my 12-week pregnancy update, and I just want to say, make sure you guys stick around for like the last 30 to 45 seconds of the video if you guys want to see my 12-week bump shot. But other than that, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below if you are also expecting, because I've really loved being able to talk to a lot of you moms that are due around the same time I am. I think it's awesome that there's so many of us that are due around springtime of next year, and I love talking to you guys. So make sure you leave a comment down below, and if you have not subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
I never thought in the wildest dream I'd see you again. Never dreamed about nothing else other than you. I always thought I'd be waiting in vain, but suddenly there you were. Never thought it'd be easy to feel you in my arms, but now we're here and I'm all in, and I wonder by you, 'cause I can stay till the morning, or stay till the dawn, but just hold me now.